an all-time high on gold. We hit 22.23. What a number. At the beginning of this year, my target for the end of the year on gold was 22.80. I had a video that I did, right around the turn of the year, outlining my thoughts on why I thought gold could move to 22.80. I've been bullish on gold overall, but this happened a lot quicker than I actually thought. Yesterday, we had some big surprises, and the surprises continued overnight. We heard from the Bank of England, the Swiss National Bank, the all the different central banks, we Australian employment numbers, a lot of data, a lot of stuff this week. And I'll give you guys a quick update in case you're wondering. Couple of things here. In terms of the Bank of England, we had a little bit of a dovish tone come into the picture. How so? Well, the many Bank of England hawks were expecting interest rates to stay high, continue, perhaps even arguing for another rate hike at some point. That idea got slashed. And the headlines here basically are saying the Bank of England hawks have abandoned that idea of interest rate hikes. Now, if you remember in the US, that was a big moment when in December, Jerome Powell and his group, the FOMC, the committee, they pretty much abandoned the idea of further rate hikes as well. That was a really dovish kind of turn for the US. So today, for those of you guys who are watching the pound, for those of you who are watching UK as a whole, we can see that this reaction here is really telling. We are seeing, again, from the Bank of England, a bit of dovishness, and that dovishness is, of course, electrifying the bears here today. So that's the first bank update. There's also another one that's lesser talked about, but still very important. The SNB, the Swiss National Bank, they cut interest rates. Now, of course, remember, when you cut interest rates, cutting interest rates is usually pretty bearish for the currency. So when we are talking about the USD versus the Swiss franc, this is a very appropriate reaction, in my opinion. The dollar is strengthening because the Swiss franc is weakening. So those are some major bank updates that we've had overnight. Some stuff has just continued to roll out here. This market is volatile. This market is moving. Let me recap where I am at. You might be thinking, Nick, you should be celebrating because you are long gold, which is true. We've taken gold here through the all-time highs and continued to ride this move. But why am I frustrated? Well, the indices, man, you guys know I'm not in them, but I would like to be. That being said, I think patience will still reward people who are waiting for pullbacks, and I don't have confirmation to enter trades until now. We are getting, of course, the NASDAQ US 30, bullish potential opportunities. So for a trade, I might be watching these things on pullbacks, but for now, I'm sidelined. And I do have my eye on oil actually this morning. In fact, I gotta go take a look at that. Inflation's staying relatively hot. OPEC is a thing. And I actually think that oil might be a pickup here this morning. In fact, I probably will go ahead and take a trade on this. I'm going to enter oil long. So let's do that now. In about 10 minutes, we've got a show here today for you guys, by the way. New segment on the show. James is going to be doing a public stock portfolio. I absolutely cannot wait. And if you're interested in stocks, if you're interested in investing in stocks, James has got a really fun announcement. I'm not going to steal his thunder though, so we'll get to that later on in the show. In the meantime, let me get in on this oil trade here. Please note, when I take a trade, I am not encouraging you to copy me. This totally could completely whiff. I could be completely off on this idea, but I'm going to go ahead and pick up a long trade. So let me do this really quick. So where do I want to put a stop? Stop loss here is going to be from current price approximately, let's call it 0.75, 3/4 of a percentage away. We'll put a stop loss here. So that's going to give me a stop loss 76.14. So we'll go here.
We have 4 brand new indicators built for TradingView. Introducing the momentum, extension zones, trend projections, and volume spikes indicators. All 4 indicators work on every TradingView chart and time frame. You can easily see shifts in bullish or bearish momentum. Look and see if price is being overbought or oversold, which could cause a quick reversal. Automatically get a trend line that shows the true trend, bullish trend, and bearish trend based on the most recent market data. Get notified instantly of big spikes in volume to help you find breakouts. All 4 are available now at a1trading.com and can get set up in just a few minutes. Go check out our brand new line of TradingView indicators today.
Okay, we're going to buy 76.14. 76.14. Let me see. What do I want to risk on this? I would like to risk $1,000. So we'll do 1639 units. We'll go there, ... time and day. Let's go there, make sure everything is looking good. It's a market order. All right. Okay. We are long oil here. Let me just get this set up and sent out to members. I'm trading the ETF USO. And for those of you guys who trade with WeBull, there's a really exciting thing coming out. WeBull is actually offering futures soon. So pretty soon, if I want to make the switch, I can actually trade futures of, crude oil instead of the ETF. So I'm excited about that. Euro yen is of currencies right now, probably my top setup that I would be interested in. Well, actually, nope, it fell off, changed. Let me see. Let's go. Well, let me just see what Euro yen is reading. It was bullish. What happened? It got neutral all of a sudden. Well, maybe not. Never mind. In terms of currency pair setups, maybe, let's see, Euro CAD, possibly. I don't usually trade off. I usually trade majors only if I'm going to trade currencies. So maybe really no currency pairs right now. I have that oil trade open that I opened here this morning. I am long gold. It says neutral here, but I entered the trade and I'm just trailing stop. So if things reverse, but I'm just trailing my position on that. I am interested in the indices if they do want to pull back, but again, that seems like a hard order to fill here recently. Real quick before I jump in with Miko Marco, just a quick update on the PMI numbers that just dropped. We had hotter than expected manufacturing numbers and about average on target services PMI. Now what matters here though is take a look here. We had revisions higher. So this revision to the previous month's numbers is sort of aggressive, and it shows perhaps a little bit more strength than what was anticipated in the US economy. That's going to be bullish dollar, and there it goes. Dollar is making a push here this morning, kind of throwing a loop into everything here. We had just a dollar free fall yesterday, and let's see, in terms of reaction, stock market barely touched by it. Gold continuing lower here.
It's all about the yen pairs. They look very interesting. A lot of momentum to the upside, especially on the 4 hours. So in particular, pairs like Euro yen, I'm looking at pullbacks on the retest of the prior highs. We've had some really impressive breakouts. And as someone who's looking to follow the trend, I'm looking at pullbacks and hopefully going to retest of this area. Pound yen, likewise, same setup, a retest of this area here as well. Again, I'm not looking to trade them both, but I'll see whichever one gives me the better setup in terms of the entry and the risk to reward. And also Aussie yen as well. A really nice breakout, probably even cleaner than Euro yen and pound yen as well. But again, the same setup, retest of the high. And again, the real thing that is going for them is that all the higher time frames are pointing the same direction, which is really healthy because I've got that kind of higher time frame backing, which I love to have. And pound yen, Aussie yen, and euro yen all showing clear signs of upwards momentum. In terms of the dollar pairs, I'm kind of waiting for a bit more with them before I do take any trades. DXY is a little bit choppy, especially with the momentum today, but I am leaning towards dollar weakness. But then again, I do need to see some more clarity with some dollar pairs. I want to see if this trend really does continue. At the moment, seeing some heavy selling pressure, so I'm not so keen to buy. Same with Aussie dollar. Euro USD likewise quite choppy. So in terms of clarity, the yen pairs look the best to me. So that's kind of where my focus is at the moment.
Yeah, I was gonna say when Marco was pulling up Euro Yen, I do like that chart. Um, Euro Yen just seems to have had a crisp, clean, and a lot of yen pairs to your point, Miko, like
Hmm.
pound yen, Euro Yen. Actually, pound yen I bet is pulling back, right? Because pound yen, the UK
Yeah.
had some more dovish sounding stuff. So this one, from a technical setup, might be kind of on the horizon here. You might have a bit of a pullback coming in. In fact, that might be let's see what that fib is looking like. Yeah, somewhere between a 38.2 and a 50% retracement. So do you trade pound yen frequently, Miko?
Uh, I trade it just as much as every other pair. I think my most traded pair is pound USD and Euro USD. But yeah, it's like I always say, whichever market gives me the best setup. But yeah, pound yen, I like the pair a lot.
I'm very much like wanting to be part of the stock market right now. I'd love to be long, but I haven't gotten a pullback. That's been kind of my wait for it trade. And so I got put on the spot and I ended up buying NVIDIA, which is like a stock that I hate for one reason and one reason only, which is it only goes up and I'm not in the trade. So I'm basically waiting for the stock market to pull back. We'll see if it does. But I'm curious what you guys' take on the market. I mean, Marco, in terms of your analysis, I'm sure if you look at the S&P, it's just got beautiful clean candles, but I'd love to see your breakdown on either the S&P, the NASDAQ, or the Dow. What do you think?
Yep, let me see it. So for the S&P, yeah, on the 1 hour chart, it looks absolutely perfect. This is exactly what I'm waiting for. These small pullbacks, nice candles continuing, nice retest of this area. So yeah, I'm just expecting a lot more upside, especially with this sort of price action with absolutely zero or very little selling pressure. Overall, on a larger scale, well, it was kind of very correctively ascending here. Overall, still moving to the upside. But just this move, I would definitely be a buyer in this market. This looks very nice, very clean. The candles are large. The ends of the candles don't have a large wick. So that's a really good sign of a trending market as well. Yeah, I would buy this.
Sure. Yeah, and it's an interesting market to say the least. It's been just a one-directional move for some time here, so we'll see if it can keep going. Miko, same question. Any of the indices, whether it be S&P, NASDAQ, Dow, or even the FTSE, just an index in general, whatever you'd like to look at.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, across the board, it does look like indices are seeing strength. US 30, S&P. The FTSE is looking very interesting as well because someone asked me to look at that this morning. And it's a very choppy market, but recently it's actually exploding to the upside. And the US indices, a lot of them have been making new all-time highs. FTSE has been kind of trailing behind, but looks like it's playing catch-up right now. And marked on two key areas in the daily chart. One high around 71.12 and one high, I think that is the prior all-time high. Yes, it is around 81.3, and I think we're probably looking to head that direction. So pullbacks on the indices across the board really look like the best play. US 30, very aggressive breakout to the upside. Retest of these areas look very good. Same thing for S&P. Retest of this area looks very good as well. US 100 hasn't broken through the resistance yet, so that one's still got some work to do. But yeah, if the correlation is going to follow, I would expect more high prices from this one as well. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the indices.
Yeah, and that's an interesting thing about when you talk about indices, most people will be talking about like US indices, but the European stock market, the UK stock market, the FTSE, while it has underperformed in prior, over the decades here recently, there are brief times, there are windows where the FTSE, the Euro stock market can actually do very well. I would actually argue that in an environment where the economy is tentatively looking like it could slow down across the US, across Europe and the UK, that Europe, which has a lot of banking and sort of value-based companies, as opposed to US, which has a lot of tech and growth sort of oriented stuff, there might be an argument for people who might look to go into more safety sort of stocks that the European region could do well. Just a off the cuff idea, but UK 100, I do like that breakout. It's a clean move there. To your point, been choppy and sort of making a move here now. So we'll see if that can keep going. But yeah, with that said, we have our last topic that we have to talk about. We talk about every time. It's Bitcoin. Marco and Miko, last time we talked about this, I can't remember what we said, but I think we said, are we going to keep going higher? And I think we all kind of agreed that you wouldn't be caught buying this sort of thing at the highs. And I think that ended up being a wise decision, because approximately from when we last talked, it's, you know, 1 point drop down by 15%. So it's been really, really volatile here. And is it going to continue? That's the question. What do you think, Marco?
Well, we did say that every time we talk about it, it continues up, but this time it didn't play out. But yeah, let me see it on my chart. Definitely a large correction, and I do think everyone is priced in. So I think everyone who wanted to buy actually did buy, and the news is already out there. It's in all of the major news articles. So I would say this is gonna correct more, actually, especially now that I'm seeing this major rejection to the downside. And most of the time in the last 15 years, when we got a new high, right, when we broke out of the new high, we got an absolute explosion to the upside, which didn't happen this time, which is interesting. So something may be up, and this may correct even more. Again, I wouldn't buy it, especially right now. But I know some people are advocating to buy the dip. I don't know. maybe this is just a dip. I don't have any money in it, so I can't really make a good decision about it. But what concerns me is that everyone kind of knows about it. You know, my dad talked to me about it. My grandma talked to me about it. So I'm not sure. If everyone knows about it, I'm not sure it's gonna go up a lot more.
Yeah, I think that's a fair conclusion. When everybody's talking about it, there's like who is left to buy it after that?
Yeah,
Miko, same question.
Yeah, so with a Bitcoin, personally, in terms of the technical side of things, kind of ignoring the externals, which is a big part in Bitcoin. But from a technical side of things, everything is still pretty bullish to me. So I do expect to see higher prices soon enough. And I'm just I'm treating this move as a pullback. You know, when it's gonna give us its next bullish move and take out the highs? That's the question. But I do like this area over here because we had a lot of momentum from 52K, but I'm kind of thinking I don't think we'll pull back that far if Bitcoin is going to really rip to the upside. But I do like this area because we had a brief stall, a brief pause in the market, and then the market exploded to the upside without a retest. So I do like this area here around 52K for some upside. But yeah, I'm not really looking to trade Bitcoin, in all honesty, to be fair. It's just kind of me just speculation out of personal interest. But I do think we're going to see higher prices. I'm still looking at that as retracement. So,
did you know we do a live trading show Monday through Friday with guests from all over the world? To get notified when we go live, click the bell button next to the subscribe button, or check in at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We have helpful, free content in the description below and on our website, a1trading.com. Thanks for watching today's video, and we'll see you tomorrow.